was just so consuming, really, that I ended up being taken into A&E by my husband, Chris, and at that point they couldn't quite find what was wrong with me, and whilst I was there I had a seizure in hospital, and they kept me in then for some time to try and see what was wrong. From there on, really, my life completely changed.
When I first noticed symptoms, I actually started with what felt like a tummy bug, which me and the children all had. And that for me then developed into what felt like quite severe flu-like symptoms. So I started to be very hot, very cold, had a temperature, sore throat. And throughout that, I continued trying to go to work and look after the children. I used to find it really difficult to take time off or let go of any of my responsibilities. So for about a week, I continued to try to go to work with these awful flu-like symptoms until one day came home from work and literally collapsed as I came through the door. And the symptoms really got much worse from then on.
The first time I had a panic attack, I was in sixth form college, and you know, I wasn't feeling very good, like always. I was extremely affected by the fluorescent lighting, especially. I think it was around lunchtime at sixth form. There was a really crowded room in the cafeteria and everything, and all of a sudden just this feeling of ultimate dread came over me. I just couldn't, I just found it difficult to breathe. My heart rate went up and I just had to get out. I walked out, I had to kind of sprinted out of the college and sat on a bench, and I called my mum and I said, I can't do this anymore. I feel too awful. I don't know what's wrong with me.
The thing that caused the crash was actually one night on a cold, wet February evening. My daughter had a chest infection and it was pretty bad, so I took her straight to the hospital. We had to wait 5 hours for her to be seen, and during that period I started to feel as though I was getting the flu. I was sweating, I had a headache, I couldn't breathe properly, and I was absolutely exhausted. And so I literally lay down on the floor in this waiting room with my daughter sitting next to me, and I fell asleep for 5 hours. And then after she'd seen the doctor, we managed to get back to the car. I was shaking, cold sweat, I was panicking. I managed to somehow drive home, went straight to bed, of course. That was the beginning of ME chronic fatigue. I was then completely flat out in bed for 6 weeks, barely able to summon the energy to crawl to the loo.